What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey. This is your other host, Chris. And like I said, hey, it's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. What's good, my boy? How's everything with you?
My boy. What's going on, man?
Hey, look, bro, it's a lot of sports stuff to talk about.
We got a lot.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
We got, the WNBA draft that just took place, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it is going to be quite interesting. But before we got that, though, ladies and gentlemen, we had March Madness. We got to talk about March Madness. But I did let y'all know what we're going to talk about. But March Madness, women and men. We're going to talk about the women first, right? We're gentlemen. So Caitlin Clark, she came up short. Do you believe she's the greatest college basketball player of all time?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Absolutely not.
I would agree. I'm not trying to knock her down, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think, greatest, that's a lot. That's a lot on it. Do you think she needed a title?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I got you. I would also agree. I think we're thinking of longevity. Title would have been nice. How about jersey retirement? Is Iowa going to retire? Should she?
Absolutely, yes.
So they already did. So are you surprised that they did it this soon?
I'm not going to say surprise.
Okay. So you're okay with the retirement?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Now, how about a statue? A statue, does she deserve the statue?
That's tough, but yes.
Okay. All right. Now, what's the time frame? What's the time frame you expecting to see that statue?
Probably 3 years.
3 years? All right. That's a bet. I would agree too. I would expect to see a statue. Hell, 2 to 3 seasons. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if it's up there next season. To be honest, but it definitely within 3 seasons. Now, we said, she needed a title, right? Not the greatest woman basketball player, but I think she is the most impactful.
Impactful, yes.
And you know what I'm saying? She could be the most entertaining basketball player that we've seen. I think it was a good run for Caitlin.
Absolutely.
And I think she left her mark on the college game because, again, she was that cog, if you will, that was driving Iowa. At least that's what the perception was. There were some good players on Iowa's team. But again, that perception, right? Mm-hmm. So, that is her impact, I think, on the college game. South Carolina. What do you think their impact was?
Their impact was redemption.
You think it's redemption?
Yes.
I felt like it was more so that I hear that. Why? Because, they lost. But I think it's more so team. Because you had Cardozo, who went high in the WNBA draft, right? Mm-hmm. You had a couple players on that team. Powell was doing pretty well. They played as a team. They went as far as Dawn Staley, not necessarily took them, but coached them. It seemed like she did a really good job coaching that team. So that's what my main impact was. But you said redemption too, though. And again, that's because they lost last year to Iowa. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. I think a good redemption story don't hurt.
But on the flip side, they lost 5 starters, WNBA picks, and you only lost 2.
Yeah, and yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah, and to your point too, they went undefeated. They lost. You know what I'm saying? And Don said last year that team could have won, or that team, the bench from last year, could win a championship, and they did. So shout out to Dawn for forecasting that. And I also put some money on FanDuel because of that statement, and she was right.
I told you.
What do you mean you told me, bro? I made the pick. Shout out to Dawn. You did say, though, don't cash out. But speaking of cashing out, because I made the pick before the season started. So who's your championship? Who's your champion next season? One. Just one.
South Carolina.
So run it back? Backsies? Ooh, they going to spin the block. All right, bet. I'm saying UConn, bro. What's your main reason for South Carolina?
They got pretty much bringing everybody back.
Okay, so because they had the redemption tour, and then they established success, you think they're gonna run it back because of that? I'm not mad at that too. Again, I highlighted Dawn as a good coach, right? I'm just thinking UConn also has a good coach in Gino Auriemma, and we could potentially be seeing Gino in his final couple seasons, maybe 2. We'll see, but it's a possibility. So for me, factoring in Gino as a good coach, Paige as her last year, AZ coming back, and they're getting the depth, I think they can combat against South Carolina. But again, that they should be the 2 favorite teams, I will say.
Oh, no questions asked.
Yeah,
no questions asked.
Shout out to USC as well. But yeah, they're the two favorite teams as well too.
Two knockdown.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Now on the men's side, Zach Edey, right? I mentioned Caitlin Clark and her impact. We were talking about the greatest, right? What's Zach Edey's impact for you?
Zach Edey's impact for me was the 4 year starters. He's been there for 4 years. And his redemption from like being knocked out as a number one overall seed to really got to the title. He did an impact where like you can be there, you can be at college for 4 years and still work on something.
Yeah, I think so is yours more so the 4 year piece?
Yes.
Where he worked. Okay,
Yes.
I would agree. I think you're speaking to that 4 year player, and he was also back-to-back AP Player of the Year as well, which hadn't been done in quite some time. I think 40 years or something like that, which is crazy to think about. If that number's true,
Yep.
40 years, like that's wild. So the fact that he was bounced out early, not really getting a lot of success, you are absolutely right. I think it highlighted the 4 year player having success and doing what he did. Now going to a team. Well, actually, let me ask you this: did he need a title to cement his legacy for you?
I'm in the middle, but I would say no.
Okay, now let me ask you. You said no for Edey, right? And I want to make sure you talk up on this one because you got to establish why Edey didn't need one, but Caitlin Clark did. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? What's your reason, brother?
Because Caitlin had an impact not just for women's college basketball, for college basketball as a whole. Like she was the story from like preseason all the way up to her final game. So
I'll give you that. Okay, so the impact it's just her impact in college in general. Okay, I'll give you because you also let me give you credit too because you said that she highlighted Iowa now as not only just a football and wrestling school,
a football and wrestling school,
but a basketball school as well. When you think Iowa, you think of Caitlin Clark. So I'll give you that. I'm also thinking dominance, right? She was more dominant than Zach Edey point in time.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're thinking of
absolutely.
we're thinking of. I'm talking about greatest of all time. When I'm talking with Caitlin Clark, I didn't mention that was Zach Edey.
Correct.
So because remember initially I was going to say the greatest female basketball player, but I said greatest of all time just to make sure I highlight she was much more dominant than Edey. So, but okay, just want to make sure I highlighted that for the folks. Now for UConn, the men's side, what's their main impact for you?
Their biggest main impact to me was they brought back the Big East.
The Big E, okay.
Now is it like the older Big East? Absolutely not.
They put more eyes on the Big East.
They put more eyes on them.
I respect that because I will say too, I have felt like the Big East wasn't the Big East that we saw back in the day.
Correct.
It wasn't as tough, and even though UConn's at the helm, I think other teams will follow right?
them.
Because all right, now you're chasing UConn. You get to go up against UConn. You know you're going to get national coverage because you get to face UConn. Mm-hmm. So I respect that, right? I think we're witnessing the next Coach K, potentially. I want to be a little selective on that, only because we got 2 back-to-backs in the time I didn't think it was going to be done, and I could see Dan Hurley not winning again for like another 8 years. He's still going to keep his job.
Oh, absolutely.
But I still think they're going to be competitive. Just the way he coaches, just the way he comes off, I can see that. I can see him being a USA coach. So I think that coaching dominance, a USA head coach, I could see that. So again, that's the impact that I'm expecting from UConn going forward at some point in time. But that's just me. Like now, we talked about the team. Y'all saw what we did with the women, so we got to talk about the predictions for next season. Who you think is about to win next season, dog?
As a Carolina fan, I got y'all as my preseason number 1.
Us? You got no, not preseason. I mean, like, so you think we're gonna win it just because?
Yes.
All right, I just want to make sure, because anybody can be preseason number one. I'm talking about who's going to be number one at the end of the season. You know what I mean? Postseason. But I would love to say us too. I would love to say us too. But we did just talk about UConn and how them boys seem like they about to be the next us. Like, and it's so disgusting. I don't want to jinx us. But I do think we have enough talent. I'm a little shaky though. But I also don't know exactly who's going to be coming through UConn definitively. Because a few things could shake out. But I'll say right now we got a good start. So I would say us as well. But I'm also a little biased on that one. I'm a little biased. So, but we got that covered. You got anything else you want to say on that? We good. All right. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick little hiatus. Right. Come back, pay some bills. I appreciate y'all for listening. We just endured quarter one. Okay. We're gonna talk about quarter two coming up. That'll be the WNBA segment. Hope y'all all stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this brief message.
Hooping is an activity that can be enjoyed by all. It's a team game about getting and stopping buckets. Everyone's always rushing to the gold. Well, make sure to rush and watch Team Gold Rush, one of the best teams in the Special Olympics of Virginia. Team Gold Rush even has former NBA All-Star participants on the team. Clearly, they've struck gold. Ready to suit up and practice? I know. We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice still makes perfect. So when the opponent starts hitting their shots, Team Gold Rush can bounce back due to their training. Remember, offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. Watch us get a bucket and rush for the gold. We aim to be that gold standard. So want a team where you can win and have fun? Team Gold Rush is your number one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. As y'all can see, we got to talk about here. It's a wonderful time. As y'all, I had to change the jersey. I had to, because I get to talk about my team twice. I guess our team twice, but we went twice on the WNBA draft, and then of course we got to do some WNBA predictions. But what y'all might not have known is, well, we actually predicted what was gonna happen, right? And so we went as follows. I'm going to read off both of ours. Y'all can see how it went. But we both went Caitlin Clark number one. Surprise. Then he went Cameron Brink, Rakia Jackson, Camila Cardoza, and Angel Reese. And I went Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Rakia Jackson, Angel Reese, and Aaliyah Edwards. I also had some caveats as well. Like I thought Camila could have gone second or third. Aaliyah could have gone fourth, and then the wings I thought should have snagged up Angel Reese. But we were kind of close. This ain't horseshoes though. My question here, brother, is,
Yes, sir.
how you feeling? Like, are you satisfied with the picks? Was there anyone that you feel like was picked wrong? Like, what's up?
I said for us, respectfully, we did a pretty good job. Like, I love our picks.
Hold on, I was just to be clear, I want to talk about everybody. Just make sure, was there anybody that did any picks wrong?
I would say the Wings.
The wings? Okay, why do you say the wings?
Because you hit it right on the head. That would have been a perfect spot for him. That would have been the perfect spot for her. But
I think perfect could be a stretch. I like her on the sky too. I think Angel first year. Yes, I like the fit, but it might get a little clogged too if they decide to keep Kalani longer. She might want to get more tick as well because again, she's a highly touted recruit.
yes.
So,
Yes,
but she's
yes.
behind Natasha, Satu, so that's a lot of people to play behind as well. So there is that factor, but I would have liked to see her on the wings because of that development, playing behind those people, being a sponge behind them. I would have liked that. I love the Chicago Sky moves by going Cardoza and Angel because I think they get to push one another. Like we saw how they battled in college. They're about to do that in practice. And practice makes perfect. Even though Allen Iverson says, "Who cares about practice?" Basically, we talking about practice. Well, yes, because I think again they're going to bring out the best in one another through practice. Mm-hmm. So I think the Sky, they're making some steps in the right direction. Because you got to remember too, they just signed Diamond DeShields.
Yes.
Got Isabel Harrison. Like they making some good moves. But I am right with you though. For the Sparks, I do like what we did. I like the future we're starting to build up. Mm-hmm. I got a few question marks. I like Rickea Jackson's game though. Where do you ultimately see her? Is it like WNBA star, WNBA All-Star, just a WNBA starter? She gonna not pan out?
From what I saw, I can say she could be a star, trending All-Star.
So you think she's going to be a star, so you think she's going to be an All-Star to star? Starter.
Yes.
Okay.
To a trending All-Star.
Okay. I was about. That's why I was like, okay. Just making sure.
No.
All right. I could see a potential All-Star. It's so tough to win nowadays. But like I do like her game. She did play really well against South Carolina, and it took a Cardozo 3 for them to beat that Tennessee team that she was on. And I remember Ray Burrell coming out of Tennessee, and I was like, oh, she Candace Parker. And it hasn't quite come up to something like that, although Candace Parker is a generational talent. That's unfair to compare. But I was hoping for, consistent starter-wise. I haven't gotten that. So I think because of that, that's kind of making me a little hesitant with this Rickea Jackson move. But I do like Rickea's game. I think she's aggressive. And, she got me and some of my boys talking about her. And it wasn't because, she's cute, she got a nice smile. No, it was about her game, bro. Right. So, I have been focusing on her. And over the last couple of years, too. So she's been cool. But the WNBA draft was good, though. And I think it does make us have to revisit our X Factor video. So if y'all haven't watched that,
y'all better watch it.
Exactly. But I think that about wraps up.
Yes.
About wraps up Coda 2.
Yes, sir.
All right. Look, we'll take a quick little hiatus. Right. Come back, pay some bills. Probably use the bathroom. Y'all know I'm lightweight. But when we come back, we'll still keep it WNBA related. Is that good with you? I think that's good with me, bro. Bet. I'll keep the same jersey on, though. You know what I'm saying? My girls is out here. We lovely. But, we'll come back after a moment from our sponsors.
The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation is helping individuals with low vision and blindness be able to do things that they think they are unable to do because of visual impairments. And that's where the fashion show came in. I also want to be able to provide eye screenings, eye exams, and eyeglasses to individuals that are unable to pay for that or don't have the insurance to do that. If we can help get those eyeglasses and eye screenings to little kids that parents can't afford, stuff like that, or older individuals that don't have the insurance anymore, that would be helpful. And that's what I'm Perfectly Made is trying to do.
Listen, we gotta talk about here the WNBA predictions. All right, more specifically, the awards. Okay, the awards. And the season predictions. All right, cool, fine. We'll give it to them. Daggone it. Fine, we love y'all. So, look, here's what we got to say. We're going to read off our predictions. They are way too early, though. So, don't hold us to it. We might not just yet. We might tweak them, but we'll let y'all know before the season starts. So, MVPs. That's Sabrina Ionescu. Chris did, by the way. Depoy. Asia Wilson. Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese. Sixth Woman of the Year. Listen, we're going to hold a nice little placeholder for that. But yeah, that's tough. We got to see what the roster's looking like. But after that, we'll definitely drop them. Most Improved, Aaliyah Boston. And then Coach of the Year, Becky Hammond. Now, for me, I said for MVP, Nafisa Collier. And then we got Depoy, Brittany Griner. And then we got Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark. MIP, I said Sixth Woman of the Year, we'll discuss later. MIP, is Aaliyah Boston, but I also want to say Melissa Smith. And then we got Coach of the Year, Noel Quinn. But just to be clear, I am going to Aaliyah Boston on Most Improved. But again, Melissa Smith can win it. My question, brother, and I think it's going to be everyone else's. Angel Reese? Oh, over Katie? Over Miss Clark?
I'm going to tell you why.
Ooh, I need to know why.
I'm going to tell you why.
And before you do, I got to make sure. She got to speak up. Because I know for a fact, act like, don't yell, but brother, make sure you talk loud. Because I want to make sure you enunciate properly. Go ahead.
All right. So, everybody is never going to pick Caitlin Clark as the rookie of the year. Everybody.
Right.
But I went off a different wild card, and I'm picking Angel because she fell down in the draft. So she got so she want to show y'all that she is going to be the best rookie. She got a lot of swagger. She can hoop. She had a lot of stuff going on in college and stuff like that. So her mind now, she is ready to take a whole nother leap. Now, like I say,
you think that chip is enough to get over? Because again, in order to be Rookie of the Year now, you're gonna need to get some PT. And I will say, could be a little tough getting some PT over there on that Sky team. Even though they had injuries last year, I think it will be tough. So you think she'll get enough PT to get to get Rookie of the Year realistically?
Yes.
Okay. I think Caitlin's going to have the ball in her hands a little bit more, and I think she's going to be able to showcase the game more. Because when I'm thinking of the Sky, I'm thinking of Marina Maybury. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of Diamond DeShields if she's healthy, and they're going to have the ball in their hand. Caitlin, when she lets the ball go, unless it's a miss or a turnover, it like you throwing the ball to Aaliyah Boston, or you might get a jump shot off, or you might be able to drive. Like, hopefully it's something productive. There's no guarantee Angel Reese is just gonna get an ISO play and say, all right, here's Angel Reese's play. So I'm not trying to knock your play, your pick, because you bring up an interesting point too. She does seem like the type of player to have a chip on her shoulder, and that carries her. That does drive players. So I mean, but when you said Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year, I was like, but you sold me a little bit more.
I said because
I'm not gonna pick her. But
no.
You might have sold me a little bit more, brother.
Like I said, is everybody is going to pick Caitlin as Rookie of the Year? Absolutely yes. But you talk about like a wild card, like an under the radar pick. Just watch it for Angel. That's all I want to say.
I'll yeah. I mean, okay. Now, like I said, that she's in a decent situation to do so. Let's say the Sky go to the playoffs, and she's a solid reason why that happens, and the Fever don't. All right, I think you can have a case. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. With that one. Now we both said Aaliyah Boston, ironically, for most improved player.
Yes.
Was that any point in time made because of Caitlin Clark's addition, or did you feel like even if Caitlin Clark wasn't going to get drafted, Aaliyah Boston was going to be the most improved player in the WNBA?
I would say it was not because of Clark.
It was because of Aaliyah. Okay.
Definitely was because of Aaliyah.
So most improved, right? What are you expecting that's different in her game this season in comparison to last?
Okay, because
the main thing. What's the main thing? I guess
playoffs.
So you think? So if they don't get most improved, so what if she gets like 25 points, 9 rebounds, but no playoffs? Is that not most improved to you? Yeah, like she has to get playoffs. That's definitive, and I'm just asking your opinion.
I can say yes. I would say.
All
yes.
right, so you're basing it off playoffs. All right, that's bad. I think she's gonna be a little bit more polished, a little bit more dominant, and I think it's gonna be in the likes of, all right, should she be a WNBA starter? I remember last season I told you I didn't think she should. I'm expecting her to play like, all right, there's legitimate questions if she should or not. So that's why I said most improved. But I also expect Melissa Smith, and this is partly because of Caitlin, but I also thought this before Caitlin got drafted as well. I think Melissa Smith, I said last year she could be this. This could be her time too, but this is also going to be my last year putting her in this slot because this is her make or break year for me in terms of being an all-star in the WNBA. She got the potential. I just want to see her bring it out a little bit more. But if not, then I think it should be a solid starter. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Solid trio in the big three, Caitlin Clark, her, and Leah Boston. I think we can work with that. But all right, cool. So we're looking forward to see how them WNBA predictions shake out, ladies and gentlemen. But we gonna have to do one quick thing, because while we talked about the awards, they come at the end of the season, Chris. They come at the end of the season. So at the end of the season, right? At the end of the season, who you got? Who you want in the finals? Let me say that. Who you want in the finals?
Who do I?
Who do you want? Wish list.
Okay.
2 teams.
Okay.
Come on.
My final prediction.
Come on with wish list, not prediction.
Wish list.
Wish list. Who do you want to see?
Oh, Storm versus Liberty. Storm versus Liberty.
Okay, interesting. I do agree, but I also want to see Mercury versus Storm a little bit. Just a little bit. It sounds interesting. But I would like to see Storm Liberty. Main reason? Okay, I respect that. Because, see, I did a similar thing, right? I also said for the Mercury, Skylar versus Company, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I would love to see that. Plus, DT back in action. We're not going to know how many times she gets the finals appearances. BG, would love to see her in finals run again. So I think that'd be a good, solid matchup. Plus, NECA, you know what I mean? Talk to me. But, yeah, no, that I think those are solid chances. Now, do you have a finals prediction?
Aces versus Liberty. Rematch.
They spinning the block. It's crazy. All right, we ain't going to give no answers right now as to who win. We just talking about who going to get there. So I got to say, brother, Chris, I got to go Mercury and Storm, bro. But the caveat is...
I won't be surprised. But the
caveat is Storm and Aces. I think that would be good matchups. I would love to see... Hell, I would really love to see Mercury versus Aces. But I do think, though, Mercury can get back there again. Aces got a solid chance, too. You could see a repeat. Storm, I think they're just really built solid, bro.
They ready.
They got good experience. They got good, solid youth. It's going to be a wonderful WNBA season, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just excited for it to start. But it's not here right now, though. So what we're going to do is take a quick hiatus. I think we done wrapped up the WNBA. And we're going to do a quick little final segment for y'all. But it's okay. Before that, we'll pay some bills, have a wonderful commercial. So you good?
I'm good, boss.
All right, that's a bad. I'm going to use the bathroom right quick. This beer's running through me. But I'll be right back. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. Whether with coworkers, friends, family, we all love the entertainment. Well, here on Get a Bucket, my goal is to talk about sports and its cultural impact. The WNBA, for example. The WNBA is loads of entertainment. From the new rookies battling, displaying their skill sets, and preparing to take the league by storm, to the Titans and the MVPs of the league clashing for battles we'll always remember. From imagining the soon-to-be possibilities, to admiring and treasuring the finales. Get a Bucket is a platform where other sports analysts, hoopers, coaches, and fans of the show come and talk about the WNBA, both negatives and positives. So if you haven't, take a quick peek. At the very least, you'll have a good time. Remember, sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. So please, tune in and stay connected.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And we got to talk about here the NBA predictions, right? Playoffs, dog. You know what I'm saying? Something slight. Let's kick it off like this, right? Because we got playoffs and play-in. So for the play-in games. Let's kick off with the East first. Let's kick it off with the East. We do got Philly, right? The Heat, the Bulls, and the Hawks. Who you taking? Who you taking for 7th and 8th?
I'm taking Miami for 7th and Philly for 8th.
Okay. I might actually flip that, right? And go, well, obviously 76 or 7th and Miami 8th. I don't know why I was making that so daggone hard, right? All right, so then let's go down the playoffs really quickly. So you got Celtics then versus for you 76ers. Who you taking?
Boston.
Okay, so you got Boston. I have Boston versus the Heat. I do also have Boston as well. Miami is tough. Like 6 maybe, but all right, so you got Boston for yours. The Knicks then versus Miami for you.
Knicks, but I'm not confident.
You're not confident for Knicks? Okay.
I'm not confident for the Knicks.
Okay. I think if I were you, I understand why. I think for me, I'm going 76ers because I think Joel Embiid's healthy enough.
Sure.
I said I think. So it's first round. We'll see what happens. You got the Bucks for you. Now we're talking about regular playoffs.
Yeah.
So we go not for you, for us.
Yeah.
For us. So we got Bucks versus Pacers.
I'm taking Pacers.
Giannis being out game 1 makes things a little interesting. I'll give you.
No, he might be out for game 1 and game 2.
Well, I mean, I think if they lose game 1, he's gonna come back game 2. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen personally. But I mean, let's say he's out game 2. I think that does make some things a little interesting. The Pacers did also do pretty well against them in the regular season, but the Bucks have enough talent, and you got Dame time too.
They do.
So you paying 50, 60 M's for one play. Damian Lillard, it's your time to show why you getting that paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So I would expect the Bucks to win. Be a little disappointed if they lose. And then finally, Cavs versus Magic.
Wild card. My heart telling me Cleveland, but I might go with Orlando.
I actually kind of agree with you. I think this is the series where the Cavs should win, but I think the Magic will win. And the versatility, you have their defense, Paolo's solid, coming along. I think the Cavs are kind of taking a step back a little bit, even though they were the 2 seed. Well, I know they were the 2 seed for a little bit, but I think that was because of injuries in the East as well. I still don't believe in Donovan Mitchell as your star. So because of that, I'm like, I believe more in Paolo going forward than I would Donovan Mitchell and being your alpha.
Okay.
So that's why I'm expecting the Magic to potentially pull an upset, and I'm actually putting money on FanDuel for them. But okay, so we got here just to recap this. So you said Boston, you said Knicks, but you're not confident. I said 76ers, and then you said Pacers and Magic. All right, so let's say in the world where we're talking about for you, you got Boston, Pacers, Celtics. I'm sorry, Boston, Pacers, Knicks, and Magic. I think it's fair to say Boston and Knicks would be the favorites to come out of those.
Exactly.
So if we're favoriting them and they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, who are you putting your money on?
6 or 7 game series, but I'm picking Boston.
Okay, I would expect Boston to win. I really would. I think this Knicks team, if they had Julius Randle, it would be interesting.
Right.
It would be interesting. I would still favor Boston though, but it would definitely be interesting. I think they would match up very well against the Celtics. But yeah, no, I think the Celtics should come out of this. Out of this series. So,
They should.
Out of the East. If they don't, is that a disappointment for you?
Oh, that's a big disappointment.
If they lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, is that a disappointment for you?
That would be back-to-back years. Yes, that would be a disappointment.
But following the okay, all right, that's cool. I mean, that's tough. I don't know what to tell you. All right, so all right, we'll see what other people got to say about that one. Now on to the West, right? We got to start it off again with the play-in, right? Y'all saw the format, so we're gonna do the play-in and then go to the playoffs. So Pelicans, our Lakers, them Kings, and the Warriors. Who you got at 7th and 8th?
Lakers and Golden State.
LA and Warriors? Okay. I think that's respectable. I would like to see Pels in there somehow, some way. Because I do want to see them against either OKC or the champs, the defending champs in Nuggets. And I'm gonna go that route. I'm gonna go Pels 8th. I'm gonna go us 7th. No, flip that. Only because I think we want to actually avoid the Nuggets. So I'm gonna say that. But I do think we can beat the Pels if need be in the play-in. So, but again, I think we're gonna strategically try to go for 8. So you said you said Lakers, Warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got OKC versus Warriors.
I'm taking OKC.
Okay, OKC.
But I got a gut feeling.
Well, if you say OKC, brother, then
I know.
All right, so you go OKC. I'm gonna definitively say I think the Warriors can get by. I think the Warriors can get by them just a little bit. I think they can. Now, I'm gonna put my money on the Warriors upsetting the Thunder. I'm gonna have the Warriors upsetting the Thunder. You got Nuggets versus Lakers versus our boys. And mind you, in my series, by the way, Thunder versus Lakers, I'm taking us.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I'm pulling an upset
Absolutely.
either way. Now for you though, for this next round, with us going up against the Nuggets, you got Denver.
Denver.
Do they sweep us again or no? You don't gotta go games. I just want to know if they sweep us.
No.
Okay, all right, that's cool. So they beat us. I think they beat. I think they beat the Pels.
Yeah. They could beat the Pels.
All right, cool. I was thinking if I want to recant that statement, but nah, I don't. All right, so now we got to talk about the Wolves versus the Suns, brother, because we into the playoffs, dog. 6 versus 3, 3 versus 6. You know what I mean? Who you got, Wolves or Suns?
I don't think they're ready yet. I got Phoenix.
Okay. This is a close one. I go Sun because of the experience. But yeah, I expect Anthony Edwards to dip just a little bit, only because he's young. But I go Sun for this one. Then we got to talk about here Clippers versus Mavericks.
Oh, I got Dallas. I
Dallas?
got Dallas.
I agree as well. I didn't like how the Clippers ended the season.
Me.
But I'm not going to be surprised if the Clippers win, but I'm leaning Mavs. So, again, just to recap, we got OKC losing to either the 8 seeds. I said Warriors, you said us. And then, no, I'm sorry. I said us. You said Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said we lose to the Nuggets. I said Pels lose to the Nuggets. And then after that, we both said Suns. And then we said Mavs.
Right.
So, with that being said, we got Nuggets, Suns, Lakers, and Mavs. Warriors in that too, but yeah. But consistently, these were the more consistent ones. So who you taking to get out of those 4? Again, Mavs, Nuggets, Lakers, Suns. So Mavs Nuggets, interesting. I'm not mad at that. I could see Denver losing. I could see Denver losing in the second round, and it's okay. To a team like the Suns. Like the Mavs, if they beat us, that's impressive. And then if the Suns, they beat the Nuggets, that's impressive. And then we got D-Book versus Luka, ushering in the new era. I think that would be kind of smooth. Because Jokic is still going to get his regardless. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to see that person. I think that could be doable. Because, again, the Suns last year were the closest team to beating the Nuggets. Mm-hmm. So I would say out of those four, I would lean Sun and Mavs. Depending on the matchups too, though, but I could see that. So I guess we have Sun, Mavs, Nuggets. Mm-hmm. Who gets out for you? Denver. Okay, so you got Denver Celtics, which I'm liking the finals. Right, I'm trying to put a little emotion to it. Trying to blend emotion and analytics right now. It's tough. I could see Celtics versus Mavs.
That would be a lit final.
I could see Celtics versus Mavs.
That would be a lit finals.
That would be alright right there.
That would be alright.
Because you got a whole bunch of rivalries. You got Kyrie used to be on the Celtics. KP used to be on the Mavs. There's a little, there might be a little bad blood between KP and Luka. Kyrie might feel some type of way about, or they might feel some type of way about Kyrie and how he played. I'm just saying that could be interesting right there. So, I think we might have constructed two solid finals because if you think of the Celtics Nuggets too, JT's the MVP candidate.
Joker probably want to be the MVP.
Very possible. I think that's a solid. I think Drew Holiday versus Jamal Murray.
That will be a
KP going up against Jokic. You got international bigs now. Like I think that'll be a solid little finals matchup too. So NBA, if y'all listen, hey, y'all got some wonderful options. But I think that about does it, Chris. You got anything else you want to say before we close up shop? I think
man, honestly, we can go ahead and just close up shop with this. Welcome to the NBA playoffs, kings and queens.
Definitely. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, please comment your thoughts below. Let us know what you all thought in terms of one, the show, and then two, our topics. Hey, if y'all agreed, please like and subscribe. If y'all disagreed, please like and subscribe. Comment below, like we said. But my name is Trey. This is Chris. We're the hosts of Get a Bucket. Hope you all are having a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch